This is another bullshit argument. The Electoral College prevents tyranny, protects representative government. 51% of people don't get to tell the other 49% how to live their lives. Everyone gets represented. With an Electoral College, the 49% get to tell the 51% how to live their lives. You don't see that? With the Electoral College, the minority gets more representation than the majority. Everyone gets represented by walking in and voting for somebody. How do we elect governors in this country? Is it with some type of statewide electoral college? No, it's 50 plus 1. How do we elect senators in this country? Is there a statewide electoral college for that? No, it's 50 plus 1. How do we elect members of the House of Representatives within your district? 50 plus 1. How do you elect state senators? 50 plus 1. How do you elect state representatives? 50 plus 1. How do you elect mayors? 50 plus 1. How do you elect town board members? 50 plus 1. How do you elect county board members? 50 plus 1. How do you elect township board members? 50 plus 1. How do you elect library board members? 50 plus 1. How do you elect park district board members? 50 plus 1. How do you elect judges and sheriffs? 50 plus 1. I mean, go all the way back to fucking student council president. How do we elect them? 50 plus 1. Every single election we have in this country is 50 plus 1, with the exception of one, the presidential election. Because the presidential election, if we were to go to 50 plus 1, would result in never seeing another Republican president in this country again, or at least not in my lifetime. If we had a 50 plus 1, well, Tom, he just won the popular vote. Yeah, a shit ton of people don't vote because of the Electoral College. And that goes both ways, by the way. There are a shit ton of Democrats that don't vote in places like Oklahoma and Idaho because they know their state's going to go red and it doesn't matter. And then there are a shit ton of Republicans that don't vote in places like Illinois, New York, and California because they know they're going to go blue. Doing away with the Electoral College would actually mean a greater turnout because now everybody's vote would count equally across the board. What you call tyranny. Everyone gets represented, except some people get represented more. For example, with the Electoral College, if you live in Alaska, your vote means way more than if you live in California. Why? Because we're putting more weight on Alaska than they have citizens. Same with North Dakota or West Virginia or Missouri, or pick a red state with the exception of Florida and Texas, right? We have a bunch of sparsely populated states that get higher representation by having an electoral college count instead of just counting the number of votes from that state. No, it doesn't protect tyranny. It protects the minority in that it gives the minority undue control over the majority. And see, oddly enough, I have this argument all the time when it comes to the state of Illinois, right? Chicago tells the whole state how to do everything. No. 9.2 million people live in the Chicagoland area. There are 12.2 million people in the state. A majority of the people in the state of Illinois get to pick the governor and get to pick the representatives. That's the majority of the people. But you never hear the opposite, right? You never hear somebody in Oklahoma, a Democrat in Oklahoma, saying, well, these fucking Republicans, they get to control everything and our voices aren't heard. No, there are just no more Republicans in Oklahoma. And then guys like you don't have a fucking problem with that. The Electoral College is an antiquated system that allows the minority to rule over the majority, and it needs to be done away with.